Welcome to Think Pride. I am Kyriakos Gold, and tonight we're celebrating all the colors of the rainbow. I want to ask you run a translations and interpreting agency, is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you get older LGBTQ people coming through the services?
No. Or at least I don't know. And the reason I'm here today is to listen, because I think visibility, so, a lot of what people have said today really resonates, but one of the things maybe why gay people aren't there is because they've won. They no longer want to fight, perhaps. Like, I don't know, again, like I'm not a white gay man at all. But I think resonating what Maria has said earlier is that the multicultural communities exclude, it's true. There's racism within racism, like my own community, which is Polish. There's a lot of xenophobia in it. And I think all of it is about education, but also people like us turning up and listening. Like I really have nothing to say other than I need to do better, and I need to listen more and really educate myself about issues of everyone. And I, when you ask me this question directly, I have to say no because I don't know. And that's not good enough, by the way, because I should know, like we...
Or maybe because we don't exist in multicultural communities like in China.
Yeah.
Or Iran,
But, it's a struggle for families because I think there's a lot of genuine love from, let's say, parents or grandparents, and they don't know how to show it. They're afraid of stigma and prejudice and all of that. And the other thing is that in Australia, there's a lot of box ticking. We have mental health organizations that do not include everybody. They talk about being for everyone, but they're not, They receive funding and they don't really look at, community with that intersectional lens where, they don't think that, multicultural or diverse people are gay. Like, no, there isn't any. So it makes me upset. I'm visibly actually moved by everything I heard today. And yes, I need to do better, but I think it's all about education. And, visibility is a double-edged sword because you don't want to go out on the street every day and be visible and fight, I imagine. I came here as a refugee and I'm sick and tired of fighting. Like I want that fight to have been won already, like in 36 years, but it's not. So we keep on talking about the same thing a lot. Which is frustrating. But when I go back to the office, tomorrow, it's not going to be, I won't forget this conversation. So, yeah.
As a community, we need to accept people's differences. People have lots of different intersectional lens. We need to ensure that everybody's around the table. If we leave people behind, then we will never progress as a collective. As a collective, our voices are louder. So we must work together.
Pół miesiąca temu z moją narzeczoną.
I've only been in Australia for the last 2.5 months, and I've arrived here with my fiancé.
Dani. Były poruszone tutaj dwa tematy. Ja myślę, że chodzi o dyskryminację.
So we spoke about two things tonight, and I think it's all about discrimination. That's one of the themes.
I człowieczeństwo.
And also humanity.
Yeah. Myślę, że pominęli tutaj wszyscy transmężczyznę.
But there's one important thing that we haven't discussed today, and we missed out on talking about transgender men.
I ciebie.
And me.
Jak mówiłaś, że wychowałaś się w Polsce i w Polsce narzucone jest nam z góry, to jest trudno przejść.
So when you spoke about Poland and how really difficult things over there are, and you cannot overcome the barriers that you spoke about today.
Dlatego ci, co mówili z tyłu na temat tego człowieczeństwa, ty wiesz, co jest człowieczeństwo.
So when you heard speaking, those people at the back that were talking about humanity, you know what humanity means.
Więc dlaczego ci ludzie nie pomyśleli o tym, że ty się czujesz tutaj nieswojo?
So why didn't these people think that you might feel out of place here today?
Może następnym razem powiem więcej.
So maybe next time I can tell you a bit more
Jak mi pomożesz?
if you help me.
Absolutely.
Yes? No?
You're always welcome here.
Just that thing about change being possible. I know that I'm a big fan of the author Arundhati Roy, and I like to use this quote that change is possible, and on a clear day I hear her breathing. And I think it is that sense of really tapping into each other's kind of collective spirit as well, but never losing sight of the fact that we do stand on the shoulders of giants and that we do need to really give proper acknowledgement to just how hard that struggle has been, that these rights didn't just materialise, that they are the result of some incredible struggle. And sometimes I think there's a tendency to think it just happened yesterday. It didn't. And so I do also want to pay my sort of respects to those that have come before us and that have given us the opportunity to have voice. And finally, I think there is power in the margins, that we can continue to occupy those spaces. We don't need to become assimilated, co-opted, feel like we then become mouthpieces for institutions. We can maintain our power in the margins.
Thank you, everyone, for thinking Pride with us. I'm Kyriakos Gold. Good night.